Tonight on the Answer Desk, we are looking more closely at herd immunity as it relates to this pandemic. We hear that term a lot, but what exactly is it and what happens if we don't achieve it? Connecticut was the first state to fully vaccinate half of its adults, but demand for the vaccine is dropping, and that's hurting our chances of hitting, quote, herd immunity.
Will we globally get to a point where there's 70 to 80% of the world's population vaccinated while the virus remains the same? Most likely not.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mike Savino asked doctors about herd immunity today. He is joining us live from the Answer Desk. And Mike, experts talked about herd immunity as the end point of the pandemic. The big question, though, can we get there?
Well, Aaron, unfortunately, there's growing concern that we might not be able to make it to that point. And first, let's define herd immunity, that first question you asked. Basically, it's enough people are immune to the virus, something like COVID, that it has a hard time spreading, and even more vulnerable people who may not be vaccinated are not at risk of catching it. We don't know what the percent threshold is to get to herd immunity. But as you said in the beginning, demand is dropping, and we also see new variants of the virus coming up. Doctors are worried that one of those variants could eventually become immune to the vaccine.
Mike, if we can't reach herd immunity, which is what we're talking about here, what does that mean for our chances to return to normal? This is something the governor has continually addressed during his briefings twice a week.
Well, the doctors that I talked to do think we can get to a place where COVID is manageable thanks to the vaccine and continued improvement in treatment, making it so that we see fewer problems when somebody gets a bad case. Now, as hospitalizations continue to drop and fewer people are dying, that could mean that we continue to relax some restrictions. But then as we see a flare-up or a surge in cases, things will then revert back to more restrictions. It could also mean that we continue to have to wear masks indoors while in public for a little while longer. I'll have a deeper look on what this new normal could look like coming up on Eyewitness News at 5.
All right, Mike Savino reporting for us this afternoon. Mike.